This is an emergency broadcast of the Uncovering Anomalies podcast. This is not a drill. Remove any children and pets from your home and go to your nearest shelter. Remember to at all times listen to the Uncovering Anomalies podcast. And whatever you do, do not under any circumstances trust what you see.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Aliens.
now I'm in the show.
Now you're in the show. This is episode 33, by the way. You know, a really important number.
It really is.
In Masonic, in the occult, I think in numerology, or is that no? It's a 6, which is like family or something. But
Just wait till we get to episode 666.
Oh no,
That'll be the day.
That would be the day. So, how you doing there, Topher?
I'm hanging in there. Didn't get much sleep last night, but I'm doing okay. How about you?
Oh man, that's the worst. Not getting enough sleep. That's usually when I have issues when I don't sleep.
The problem is I got home from work on Friday and I was so exhausted. I did the dumb thing that I keep telling myself I shouldn't do. I went to sleep like as soon as I got home, and then I woke up at like 1 a.m, and then now my sleep schedule is just completely screwed.
Oh no! Well, I mean, I guess you have to take some sleeping pills to get back into.
So yeah, I used to take melatonin. I haven't for a while now because it just makes me so groggy the whole next day. Maybe I just.
Oh, it does. How much do you take?
I don't even have the bottle anymore. I threw it away.
Yeah.
It was the higher dosage. I can't remember the exact thing. Maybe I should.
No, but it does. It does make people groggy. But I didn't know the next day though.
Yeah. It was like all the next day I'd be yawning and tired and like having to take naps on my breaks at work.
For sleep. But you need probably like 100 milligrams or something, and then don't wake up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you'll be in a dreaming state. But I mean, I think it's super important to get a good night's sleep. At least for me, that's the only thing I can't handle is not sleeping well.
Yeah. Well, it is Sunday. I've got to go to work tomorrow. So my plan is to basically stay up until my normal bedtime, even though I'm exhausted. And then I should be able to sleep well after that and then wake up at a normal time.
Cool, dude.
Anyway.
So hit it.
All right. So this is the Uncovering Anomalies podcast.
That's the name.
You are Adam. We need to come up with a good nickname for you. I know we did I Want to Believe Adam, but
you don't like that one? Should we change it?
No, it's fine. I mean, if you like it, then okay, that's I Want to Believe Adam.
Well, yeah, I mean it is because I'm always on the fence and I go in and out of believing. I always believe. I'm going in and out of believing like what the government's trying to do or what someone's trying to say. But in general, I want to believe, yes. So I think that's fitting.
All right. So that's I Want to Believe Adam. I am Tip Top Topher, new nickname, trying it out. And like I said, this is the Uncovering Anomalies podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And let's get into it, cuz.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into it. I want to say hi also to our listeners, and any new listeners who are feeling the itch or the curiosity of UAP and UFO, especially what's going on out there. And there's a lot of information out there, right? This is nothing new, and this is what I keep seeing is that we keep being pulled back into the 40s and the 50s because I feel like we might be stuck in some kind of time loop. Where because of the secret, we're basically still in the 40s and 50s, but our surroundings are a bit different, because there's a lot of technology out there. But post World War II American Empire thing, we're still in it, right, for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say it's because of this secret.
Yeah, I agree.
I read the day after Roswell. Well, I downloaded the Audible, but I've listened to it. Not twice, but maybe 1.5 times, something like that. And everything that has come out since then, or everything that I've read or heard of or see, a lot of it can, I guess, be traced back to that book because everything's in there.
It all lines up, huh?
Yeah, and everything, but also even the reasoning. I mean, he has great reasonings in there it was mostly because of the Soviets, right? Or at least that was the excuse that they can't have it, we need to have it, kind of thing. They always knew we had something like this, but then I guess once the Soviet Union went down, then we needed another excuse. Maybe that's why 9/11 happened, just to keep this thing going. And then that is done. So now we have Ukraine, or maybe it's back to Russia. I don't know, but it's like we always constantly need a new enemy to keep this secret from the people.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way.
Yeah. So anyway, so just to get back to this this timeline, Richard Geldreich Jr. He's on Twitter. He's great. He put this together from basically it's public information about UFO sightings and UFOs. There was one we shared last week from Schellenberger that talked about the crash retrieval programs, basically. So this is similar to it, and it goes back to the year 812. So a description of a sighting, and this one is in like Lyon, France. But you can click on all these years and come up with the sightings.
It's pretty nuts. And in case you're a new listener, or if you just need to be reminded, everything that we are talking about today can be found in the show notes. Just click on that more info once you click on this episode, and you can find Adam does a great job of posting all the links to everything that we talk about. But yeah, I mean, it's not a pretty website.
No, it's HTML, so it makes it easier at least to find, and you can just put Control F.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't know, Napoleon. Did something come up? Okay, not on this page. Is that how you spell Napoleon?
Yeah,
Napolean.
I mean, it's super interesting, but yeah, it details all of the different sightings and events that have been going on for, I mean, literally thousands of years.
Well, yeah, it goes to 800. So yeah, 2,000 years.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, fine, 1,000, 1,200 years.
Okay, well, over 1,000 years. Anyway,
right,
it's super cool.
It is really cool. And he did the same thing, like I said, to the Schellenberger one, where he put it into HTML. And that one from last week is just amazing because it has the MJ12 documents in there. But these are for sightings. Anyway, really cool to go through. When someone tells you there's no evidence or whatever, it's always been evidence. It's always been there. It just hasn't been in officialdom. Is that what they call it?
I get what you're saying. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I understand. What it hasn't been official. It
hasn't been official, right? But it's been out there for a very long time. For those willing and curious to see, right? It's there.
You were talking about the Soviet Union, and we were trying to keep information from them. Do you know anything about the 1908 what's it called?
Tunguska event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many theories. Is there Wi-Fi files on that one where he thinks it was Tesla, or there's rumors it was Tesla?
Yeah, it's such a weird. For the people who don't know, there was a huge explosion in Russia,
in Siberia, right?
In Siberia, yeah. And it flattened trees for like 100 miles.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was complete. It was just this huge explosion that happened. I mean, apparently, whatever it was didn't crash, or whatever. It exploded just above the tree line.
Just like a nuke would.
Yeah, and it created this giant explosion. And I mean, they say it was an asteroid, but that doesn't make any sense either.
That was in the early. Yeah, it was in the early.
It was 1908.
1908. Yeah. See, so Tesla was doing experimentation. We didn't have nukes back then. Some people say it was a nuke, like an alien nuke or something, warning us, because it was in the middle of the Siberian forest, right?
Yeah, exactly. But that was one of the theories, is that Tesla was like testing something. I don't know. I don't know.
That's one of the theories. Yeah, he was testing his super weapon when he was in. I don't know if was that during Warcliffe or whatever it's called, his tower, or was that in Colorado Springs? I have to look into it again.
I don't know. I just, that popped into my head when we were talking about.
Yeah, we've always had a fear of the Russians, or at least the elite here in this country. Either, but when you look deep into it, it's the same elite, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When you look really deep into it, I mean, it's fake now. But yeah, going into like the real X-Files and evidence of these programs. This is UFO magazine. It says 1998, and it's the real X-Files movie. So these are crash retrievals. So it's called the Deep Files. X communique letter to a UFO recruit. So what you're about to read, this is what the magazine is saying. What you're about to read is largely unverified, but that doesn't mean it's not true. It's the type of UFO information that would typically be deeply buried, then carefully studied and compartmentalized by a small faction within the intelligence community, as suits any sensitive black operation. So, again, these things have been around or floating around for a very long time. Look at these images.
This is one of the greatest. I want to buy like an edition of this magazine. This is great.
Yeah, that'd be so cool to have, wouldn't it? Just to have it. So it goes through this guy's story that was he's a decorated officer. He was recruited by an agency, a secret agency, and they go through the reasons why it's secret. And Soviets here also see. Mm-hmm. These crafts were either secret Soviet surveillance craft designed to spy upon the many advanced technical and military facilities in that region. They're talking about the Roswell area. So they go through the Roswell crash. It soon became clear that these craft were from some planet or solar system other than our own, as they were occupied by two kinds of beings which clearly were not of earthly origin.
When was this magazine? You said
this was in 1998.
1998. Wow.
Yeah. And they just go through the crash retrieval program. Look at the dead aliens, these guys.
Well, I mean, yeah, I want to know when like the idea of the short grays like entered our lexicon.
Yeah, well, when did I recently read that? It's always been around.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting stuff.
Dolan would say no. They came up when we started using nukes. That's what Dolan says. The gray beings. Yeah, and he's a history researcher. Actually, this is from his site, Richard Dolan members. Let's download. So we'll put this PDF in the show notes. It's just amazing stuff to look at. There's two versions of the story. That was the first version, and then this one. They're calling it Trans X. That is so funny. Why trans?
I don't know. I feel like that's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
I mean that wasn't even a word until recently.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you have countries. Yeah, it usually means transitioning. That's why. I mean, even you have countries called trans something. So this one goes details on the deepest and blackest of clandestine UFO operations, such as they are, stay safely beyond the reach of average citizens. Wait, what year is this? Is this also 1990? Oh, I can't see it. I got same year.
No,
same year.
That's cut off.
Yeah, but it's before 2000 and 2001.
Yeah. Man, do they still make this magazine? I would subscribe to this.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. Look at this.
Yeah.
It's like the Aztec UFO incident, probably.
Yep. Listeners, definitely check this out. The pictures of this magazine in the show notes. It's a very fun thing to look at.
And they talk about telepathy. That's in Corso's book too. I mean, apparently he's one of the guys that understood. Like, I guess they had these bands around their heads, and they used that to fly the aircraft.
I want to read this. Scroll up.
Wait. Where?
All right. Fine. Yeah. We'll move on.
No, tell me this one here. Very well, Captain. Or
I just hope we have the time to find. No, you.
Oh, here we go. Sorry.
I just hope we have the time to find out what we need to know about this before these gray bastards have taken over the whole damn place. It's a quote from the article.
I'm so happy you caught that. That's hilarious. Before these gray bastards have taken over the whole damn place. So there's always been a threat op, that, as the dark journalists will call it.
Yeah, I mean, as we know about our government, anything they don't understand, they want to shoot down or kill or whatever.
And even Philip Corso's book, they said, what was the reason he used? That the technology looked Nazi, because they had Nazis. So they said they must be hostile.
I think again, it's one of those things where, like back in the 40s and 50s, even before that, anything that you look at and you don't understand, you go, "Oh, these are foreigners."
Yes, and it's at that to that point, these programs, the crash retrieval programs, are hidden in foreign technology projects. It's just called foreign technology, so no one really looks at it. So that was something also from Philip Corso. What is this? Is he making fun of? It was clear that if Masters is the guy who wrote these, had too negative a take on what he'd learned, he would be terminated from UFO related assignments, or perhaps just terminated. Anyway, these are a great read. I don't want to spend too much time on them. Oh, look at this officer.
Let's move on, but listeners, I highly recommend that you check this out. I mean, the pictures are fantastic.
But to your point, we should find out if UFO magazine is still around. Oh, look at these! They're protecting the crowd.
Great pictures.
And all before 2001, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just got rid of it.
Yeah.
Crash retrievals might be the 2023 word, because this is for free. What is this? Oh, wait. Second annual UFO crash retrieval conference proceedings. Oh, yeah. So Nick Redfern, presented by, this is 2004, presented by majesticdocuments.com.
In Vegas.
And Nick Redfern wrote this. Jim Mars. Look at this, dude. So Nick Redfern writes page 1 to page 20. Jim Mars, he's what got me started down this road, or my own road with. Was it Alien Agenda or was it Rule by Secrecy? It might have been Rule by Secrecy. And then at the end, he says, no, it was Alien Agenda. At the end of Alien Agenda, he says the people who are keeping the secret are the secret societies. So then I read his book, Rule by Secrecy. And then in there, he had footnotes of David Icke. And I'm like, who's this David Icke guy? And then I started reading David. Yeah, so we went down that road. So Jim Mars, he was great. He died not recently, but like a couple of years ago. Linda Moulton Howe, Grant Cameron. So anyway, we have and you can read this entire thing like a book about crash retrievals.
Super interesting. I haven't gotten all the way through it, but I have been, and it's hard to read because I usually look at the stuff on my phone.
Yeah, and these are not optimized for the phone at all.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, you have to go left to right. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
But still, we'll put it in the show notes. So if whoever has time to go through this, Nick Redfern has vast knowledge of. I guess he goes through these during the years. These are official reports of things crashing, and then our government going and retrieving them. I guess who has a budget to go do what we do? I think that's what it is too. Like they crash globally, right? So who's going to come in and swoop it up? We would, because we've been doing it since the 40s.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking about. I mean, my mind goes to like, is it what soldier? Is it a grunt? Like, is it a private? Like, I'm thinking about all these camouflage dudes, carrying M16s, having to run and go like check out a UFO, and then. What do you do after, like, your life is completely changed after that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of them go through PTSD, alcoholism, drugs, and then the ones that don't enter the corporate world and keep the secret going. The ones who are strong-headed about it. And
I mean, that's a bizarre lifestyle to me.
It is.
If like, just for instance, if a UFO crashed in the parking lot of my apartment complex, I'd be telling everyone. I'd be shouting about it. I'd be looking inside, trying to get inside, and like, maybe that's why I'm not a military person.
Well, there's that too. I mean, they do. They'll know what books you read too, immediately.
Yeah.
But then there are like. I remember watching when I used to watch TV a long time ago, or even just visiting my mom's or something. I'd watch like Discovery Channel where they have something about UFOs. All the commercials are military commercials. They're trying to recruit people who think that way. I mean, it's
Shit,
the
I
Air
messed up. I should have gone military.
I mean, yeah, you have done really well in the military. We have.
I remember in high school I did have a meeting with a recruiter for the Marine. No, it wasn't the Marines. I think it was just Army
or Navy.
But
okay,
I decided that wasn't the best option for me. No, I'm just.
I mean, it's not for everyone. It is brainwashing. They do, because I went to military school, and they do tell they try to separate you from society, and they're called civilians, and you are not a civilian. You are an Army person. Once you're done with the program, I mean,
yeah. So this is completely off topic. I might cut it. One of my buddies from high school, his dad was like higher level military. He had gotten further into the whatever, and so he sent my buddy to West Point, and my buddy was there for 3 months, I think. And he quit and hitchhiked home, didn't tell anybody and he was hiding out in another town, and then his dad found out. He hated it. That's how much he hated it.
Wow.
Yeah. And
maybe it wasn't for him. I mean, yeah,
it wasn't for him. The thing is,
he felt forced into it though.
Yeah, he was definitely forced into it, but he was seriously like one of the smartest people I know. I don't know. I haven't heard a thing about him in years, but that was just he literally, like, I don't know how you quit military school. You get discharged, I guess.
Yeah. You just don't show up anymore. You're AWOL, and they just.
Yeah, that's what it was. He went AWOL.
Yeah.
And and I mean, I grew up in Montana, and he hitchhiked like
crazy.
all the way home. It was nuts.
All the way home. Imagine hitchhiking.
And this was, I mean, oh my God, how old am I? This was almost 20 years ago. So I mean, and hitchhiking was out of style by then, kind of.
Oh yeah, big time. But that's how badly he wanted to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, he did not like it.
Okay, did that happen in the beginning, or like, because the beginning is the toughest, right? When they're actually like,
well, he was there
molding you.
He was there for 3 months, so I mean, it was the beginning. I'm assuming.
Yeah. So that's the toughest time. Once you get over that, then you're fine. Most people quit. Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah,
they can't handle it. They can't handle the breaking you down to building you up. You have to be like, pretty strong about it. Like they didn't completely break me down, but they broke me down enough where I did improve. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get it. You gotta put someone, bring someone down to their base, so they've got something to grow from.
Right. I mean,
that's kind of like
your ego.
That's kind of like what rehab was for me.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, they destroy your ego or whatever you were before, and then try to
build you back up, but into something. I think that was the problem for him. They were trying to, make him into something that he wasn't.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I get that. So, I mean, so this is very relevant because it goes back to who do they put on these jobs? Who do they select, to do these things and not say a word, or they don't even care about it in a way. They don't care.
Right. Yeah.
All these guys, it's the same thing about the no caring. It's like, I'm just doing a job kind of thing.
I can't imagine having that. I mean, I know it's because I'm actually interested in UFOs, but if you're just like the layman who like, oh, whatever, it's a thing that crashed, I don't really care. Sorry, right. Let's move on to the next.
Because we're still talking about crash retrievals, and then this is Leonard Stringfield, 1978. It's also a PDF. Please, listeners, go in there and read this one because it's Stringfield, and military personnel went. They confided in him, and they told him, they gave him all these stories. So a lot of them come from him. The presentation we share on our Rumble are all Stringfield cases. So what's this abstract? But yeah, I mean, I bought all of these, but it's crazy to see them here.
It's just more evidence that this has been going on for so much longer, and it's kind of frustrating because, up until like this year, you were ridiculed for believing in stuff like this.
Oh yeah, big time. I used to get in the biggest fights.
Oh, I know.
Back in the day.
But
Like even when I was younger, like I would scream all night and just call them idiots and dumb. And then I got to the point, like when someone started with me, I'm like, look, I'm convinced. I'm not going to be able to convince you, and I don't want to get into an argument. But there's a lot of stuff. That's what I would say.
we've had this discussion before. Yeah, I mean, it was I wasn't getting in fights, but like a lot of eye rolls, and then
yeah,
and like I think we said a couple shows ago, you talk about this stuff now, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," and you go, "You don't remember 10 years ago when we had the same discussion and you were making fun of me?"
Yeah. I had close friends like they would seriously like laugh. I'm like, oh, screw you guys.
Yeah.
But then there'll be someone part of the group who'll be like, yeah, I'm with you, man. So what do you think this thing is? Like, like on the side, like when everyone's asleep or something.
Yeah.
But wouldn't speak up when everyone was laughing.
Right. Exactly. I mean,
yeah.
I hate nature. That, but I think that's kind of human nature, unfortunately. You don't want to, you want to be part of the group. You don't want to stand out.
Yeah. So anyway, again, like you said, this is 590 pages of just crash retrievals and cases of people that confided in Leonard Stringfield. So yeah, if people that don't know his story, we said it once before. He was part of the army or military. They were on a jet, and then they saw the whole crew saw a UFO that came by that shut down the engines. They were going to crash. Then the UFO just went away, and the engines started working, and that's how he started his interest in UFOs. They scared him, and he thought he was going to die. Basically,
that's actually super interesting to me because I'm always curious about what UFO sightings and experiences and abductions, like what they mean. And then obviously there's theories out there, but something like this where you make an object almost crash and then don't just to scare the person. It really does seem like they're just trying to make us interested in them.
Right. You know what I mean? Or and nudge some individuals towards some path.
Right.
It's just weird that's what happened to him. And then he spent the rest of his life after that compiling stories of crash retrievals. Nobody before him ever brought up crash retrievals. He's the crash retrieval guy.
So cool.
Yeah. And then I sent you this one. You see, I didn't read all of it, but it's an alien. It's the treaty with the aliens. It's a letter.
Is this the Gaeta treaty?
Yes, I think it's that one. But wait, who wrote it? Borderlands Sciences. It's a letter to alien fodder. Why is this here? To you, whom it does concern, he said.
I don't think
the unholy alliance in effect between the worldwide military industrial complex, which controls all major governments on this planet, and alien beings from a neighboring planets in the solar system is slowly being exposed by a small group of ordinary people who found themselves in possession of extraordinary information.
I don't think this is real.
Just the way it starts, it's like a movie.
Yeah.
When did it come out, too? Neighboring marketing for a movie.
Neighboring planet would only mean Mars.
Could be Venus too.
I don't think. Well, shoot.
I don't know. I mean,
the Russians put a satellite, or not a satellite. They put what's it called? A rover on Venus for like.
It
10
could be
seconds.
Mars too, like underground, because we have there's evidence of underground stuff there. Or
I mean, we found water there. It's got so.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's definitely it. I feel like I don't know.
Okay, so what's the gist of this? Though the specifics of this alliance are classified far above top secret, Grusch says there's no such thing as far above top secret. There's like compartmentalized stuff. Anyway, so that might be a red flag there. There are those who know of it through unofficial channels and they're horrified by it. Let me guess. It's the exact same.
This feels like marketing for a movie or something.
The aliens
above top secret.
Above top secret. The aliens would share technology with the Earthlings.
Listen, people.
And in exchange, All they requested was the right to collect biological samples, Yeah, so it's the same story of Eisenhower kind of thing.
Yeah, it's talking about the Gaeta Treaty.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Oh yeah. So now, just to get back, let's leave. We can leave Crash Retrievals for a bit. Well, actually, we're not really leaving it with this guy, Sean Kirkpatrick.
Oh God, this guy.
I know, and this is what he shares on his LinkedIn. All right. So this is a post. He goes, a prevalent reported characterization of UAP is that they seem to maneuver with, quote, no visible means of propulsion, close quote, and that, quote, defy the laws of physics, close quote. Here is a commercial example of a technology that might be identified as a UAP with no visible, he misspelled that, wow, genius, means of propulsion that does not defy the laws of physics. Ion propulsion has no visible moving parts. Very cool tech. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for coming up with excuses that these things are just,
drones or something.
Yeah, or corporate technology. He's like, instead of looking for the real reasons, he's just debunking. That's what he's doing.
I think we've talked about the schism in government, and you and I message each other about it a lot. I think he's on one side that's trying to, withhold all the information. That's all I think. That's
yes.
I don't think he's dumb necessarily. I just think, his job is to withhold and hide information about UAPs.
Yeah, it is. He's doing his job, and that's why he's okay with it. And he is obviously on the side that he's convinced that the populace would panic if they find out what this is. He's on the side that wants to treat humanity like children.
Yeah,
and that's what he's doing. And he justifies it somehow in his head. And he's, no one. I don't think evil really exists. I mean, it does, right? I mean, yes, of course it does.
Definitely,
but not that when someone's against you or not doing what you want, that he's evil or he has evil plans. I don't think Sean Kirkpatrick's evil. He's justified in his head a good reason to keep this from the populace.
Yep, I'm right there with you, bro.
So it just sucks. We see it. We see this information in a completely different light. It will. Yeah. I mean, the ones that can't handle it, can't handle it.
Yeah, I just hate this side of our government. Like you said, treats us like children. We can't know the truth about things.
Oh, man.
It is what it is.
And our government's so big. I mean, and the people in charge will choose someone like him to put him in this position.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I thought this was interesting. Did you read this? I didn't. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I saw that you sent it to me, but I did not read it.
Yeah, so when I first sent it, and I saw this right before the show. When I first sent it, I'm like, oh look, there, Bankman-Fried's brother. When I first sent it, was buying up islands to survive an apocalypse, basically to hide from the rest of the world, underground in bases, but also reading the title. So the title is FTX lobbyist Gabe Bankman-Fried, SBF's brother, tried to buy the Pacific island of Nauru to create a new super species of genetically enhanced human species.
So that is absolutely wild.
According to a recent lawsuit, FTX, a crypto exchange, expressed an interest in acquiring the Pacific island nation of Nauru to construct a secure bunker in case of an apocalyptic event. The lawsuit was filed against FTX's founders, including Sam Bankman-Fried, with the exchange seeking $1 billion, alleging that it was misappropriated by the company's bosses. Wow, that's like a sci-fi movie.
It really is, but it makes me regret my life choices. I wish I had enough money to buy my own island, not to create a genetically superior human species, but just to hang out on an island and be by myself.
Well, let's not forget these people were heavily into methamphetamines. The entire FTX group, all of them were snorting speed and sleeping with each other, right?
Yeah, man. Like the 80s when everyone was on coke. That's why all those crazy movies got made.
Yeah, and and recently they threw out SBF's the administration threw out all charges against SBF as predicted, because he gave the Democratic Party and Republican Party billions of dollars in fake money and stolen money, but it doesn't matter. It paid off at the end, and he knew it.
Man, yep. I mean, I went to business school, but they didn't teach us how to do this.
yeah, good point. Yeah, they really should. If and it is a good lesson in business, people. Sorry to say, but it is a very good lesson. There's always someone on the take, and the people that find out who that person is, that's in a position of power on the take, usually win, and that's just how it works.
Do you think that, like, I went to regular business school, but do you think there's like an evil business school where they teach you how to do like terrible things?
Yeah, I think if you're being groomed by like one of these CEOs or whatever, like these guys, yeah, it'll be a homeschool though. I'm like, you're not allowed to, you're not allowed to tell anyone this, but this is how you do it. All
right, what's next?
Next we have Virgil Armstrong, UFO lecture in the 80s and 90s. Again, going back to this whole theme of Eisenhower and Philip Corso and covering up, but that there is
that all of these movies are.
Yeah, here we go. He talks about the movies that came out in the 50s.
Awesome.
So it's a quick one.
That all of these movies are designed to educate you and I.
Mm-hmm.
So when they step forward and tell the truth, which they're about to do, I feel, we'll say, well, why in the hell did you tell me, And they'll say, oh, we did, We gave it to you in movies. And we were telling you ahead of time that all of these movies are designed to.
Well, that goes back to the whole karma thing, too. Like, they understand karma. And if they don't want bad karma, what they do, and even though they're not officially telling us, they're still telling us through movies, through books, through these leaks. And they can never claim that they didn't really tell us.
Yeah, I mean, what's that movie? Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Yeah.
That whole thing was surrounded in controversy because, that was the whole... Well, the controversy was that the government was telling the truth in movie form.
Right.
I mean, they had... I don't remember which UFO guy it was, but he was in the movie, like, as a cameo.
Valet. Oh, what? No, but the guy... He was based... No, sorry. He was based... The French guy, he's based on Valet.
No, I thought they actually had him in the movie for
that second. Wasn't him. No, that wasn't him.
No? Okay.
No, but the guy does look like him, and he talks like him, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's based on Valet.
And it was Spielberg movie, right?
Yep, Spielberg movie.
He said they had government people, like, supervising.
Yeah, and so that's why it was really weird when he had a recent interview, and he just basically denied any of this stuff coming out and that the retrieval programs. You'd think you'd be all behind that. Really strange.
Well, paid opposition.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe it's part of the agreement that he's just abiding by the agreement.
Right. I mean, Hollywood, we know how they work. They're paid to push certain messages and yada yada yada. But they're actually all kind of stupid. I mean, think about kids that you went to school with who were in acting class. Like, that's who you want to, like, tell you who to vote for and stuff.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, everyone has to remember that these people, they make believe for a living. All right, what you got here?
They make believe for and they push government propaganda because everything has to be approved.
They're paid to do so.
Yeah. So this is The Hill. Is The Hill a mainstream media thing? Kind of, maybe.
I think it is.
Okay. Yeah. So I've really liked their reporting lately. We won't play this whole thing, but it's really interesting, just how she presents this. It's based on a debrief article that's about, because now there's official ways in the FAA to report UFOs. So yeah, they go through that. Let's take a listen.
U.S. fighter jets are having troubling aerial encounters in Arizona's restricted air combat training areas, which fits with a broader trend, according to a new report from the war zone. Pilots are reportedly encountering small, unidentified objects, sometimes in a swarm-like group of as many as 8. They're also seeing sightings of other objects, including some characterized as drones, flying at altitudes up to 36,000 feet and as fast as Mach 0.75. Another apparent small drone hitting the canopy of an F-16 Viper causing damage. These incidents and many more all occurred in or around various military air combat training ranges in Arizona since January of 2020, according to Warzone.
These events are described in reports from the Federal Aviation Administration filed over roughly a
Do you see
There
him?
he is. There's our
You see
boy.
him?
3-year period. And all of this, of course, comes as Congress just heard historic testimony on UAPs or unidentified aerial phenomenon. Jess, what in the world is going on here?
Aliens. It's aliens. Either that or they've recreated alien technology based on the spacecraft that they have. And I really think that when we get to the point of all of the whistleblowers we've had from the military and intelligence community over the past, half of the century.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't her name kind of like a porn name?
Jessica Burbank. Whew. She is an absolute fox.
Yeah, but the name is made up. Isn't that what they usually do? There's a joke out there that's how they choose names. Like it's your first name is a name that you want or something, but then you choose a street name as the last name.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or a city.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to listen to this, but man, she is very, very gorgeous.
Yes, and she's on point with her opinions too.
And
that's a double whammy right there.
If I heard what her opinion was, I'm sure I'd agree with it.
Yes, now listen to it.
To now the point where we have over 40 people in the military intelligence community that are active corroborating this story, that we have over a dozen crashed craft and some with non-human biologics. Now, some people have called into question non-human biologics. That could mean a squirrel. Was a squirrel piloting a UAP traveling at 36,000 feet at Mach 75 when the average fighter jet is at about 0.8 to 1.2? I don't think so. I think when they say non-human biologics, they don't mean that it was a chimpanzee. I think they very well mean that this was something extraterrestrial. And I believe that they would consult with biologists before having that kind of a statement made, right? I understand David Grusch's testimony he was being a whistleblower. He was talking about things that he's witnessed, things that he's heard from other people through a series of interviews that have been corroborated by Michael Schellenberger, who we interviewed on the program. And so I don't think it's a reach to say that it's very likely they're either replicating the alien craft technology or we are seeing some interactions with alien craft.
Damn. she was serious there.
Yeah. Put it down, Burbank.
So they're either recreating alien vehicles or they are interacting with alien craft.
The fact that they're above military bases kind of does make me think that the military has been, creating craft based on UFOs that have crashed. Yeah, I think that's very likely. But I also, I do think it's both. I think there are I hate the phrase non-human entities here on Earth, but I also do think there is a lot of tech that the government has produced that is based off of non-human entities.
Yes, non-human intelligence, and all the evidence keeps pointing there. And military bases also have, no one's done anything. We've talked about this. No one's done a study on this, but military bases do have more sensors around them, watching out if someone's there. And it could be the reason. Yeah, they could be everywhere.
"Quote unquote" national security.
Right. Yes, our national security. So, and I know we saw Corbell in that clip, and we made fun of him as we always do. But he did amazing here, and this is Piers Morgan. Obviously, Piers Morgan. They always do this. Everything's a joke. Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan.
Sorry, I always correct you on names. I apologize.
No, it's okay. He's a dick. We all know him.
Yeah.
But I guess it's his replacement, but she's filling in for him. And the way they talk about UFOs, we should do the whole clip here because it should go by quickly.
Okay.
But Corbell does really good on this one.
All right.
It made me happy he's on our side.
Let's go.
and it might be time to grab your tinfoil hats because the aliens are coming. And apparently, a lot of them. There have been almost 1,000 documented UFO sightings in the UK since January 2020.
No, they did not just play the X-Files music.
They did, and they started out by saying tinfoil hats, and you hear the noise. Chew.
Assholes.
Yeah, let's keep going.
And they even seem to be targeting certain areas of the UK more than others, with most sightings taking place in Greater Manchester, London, and Chester. Now, at the end of July, 3 former military officials in the US told Congress they believe aliens are real and the government are purposely concealing evidence. A former intelligence official went on record to say the US government is in possession of non-human biological remains.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
Biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
So should we all be gearing up for an alien invasion, or is it all a bit of a conspiracy? Joining me now to discuss all this.
I guess, should I skip over? I mean, her guest now is Nick Pope. I mean, he's fine too. I think he's an MOD guy still. I think he's still British intelligence. We can skip. Should I skip over to Corbell? It's really funny.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, because Nick doesn't say a word. He just does his normal shtick. I'll go wait. He's so pissed. Look at him.
God, yeah, I know.
All right, wait.
Little fanfare. People didn't seem to care. It's almost like they've been through a pandemic and there's a war going on and the price of everything is through the roof, and aliens suddenly aren't that interesting or worrisome to them anymore.
Perfect timing to reveal that UFOs exist.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, that's incorrect. And hello, Nick. Nice to see you. This is a completely different situation than is being.
Did you see that? Hello, Nick. Nice to see you.
He's being a sorority girl.
He is.
So nice to see you.
Here, you said put on your tinfoil hats. People should put on their battle helmets. Right now, this is being taken seriously from the world public. It's a serious topic, and people need to understand why it's a serious topic. At this time, right now, you've been told something historic. You've been told something historic from your government. You've been told something historic from my government. Right now, what you've been told is that UFOs are indeed real, that there is a technological aspect to it, and the world needs to catch up with consensus reality. It is being taken very seriously at the highest levels of government, and for reasons that are really good. One is strategic surprise. It's really simple to understand that if somebody has technology that we don't have that can outpace, outmaneuver, and outperform our greatest fighter planes and weapons systems, like Commander David Fravor, who testified at that hearing, told you, then this is something that it should be understood differently than how it's being presented right now.
Well, you've got an opportunity to respond to that.
Yeah, I do.
No, this is all absolutely serious. I mean, a few.
All right, so now he's coming in saying it's serious, but good. See, so Corbell now steered it to like, listen, this is not a joke. This is serious. Of course, Nick Pope now is like, yes, this is very serious.
Okay, hold on. Complete side note. What is with the new trend of interviewing people like from their homes? Have you noticed that? I mean, I'm assuming it's carryover from the pandemic. But
yeah, it has.
Half of everyone that gets interviewed nowadays, you can tell they're sitting in their house.
Yeah, sitting in their house, and it's not a satellite feed like it used to be.
And it's like a terrible microphone too, every time.
Zoom. Yeah, I mean, this guy, what is it? Some $5 thing he's got going. But you know, Corbell's always behind this safe, right? And it always makes me remember that interview he had with Nick Branson. What's his name, man?
You're asking the wrong person.
What the hell? Now. Anyway, so he asked him about this safe, and he's like, and then Corbell goes, "What safe?" And
oh man, see, this is what I'm talking about. They're interviewing two people, like they can't even put a green screen behind. Like, I swear to God, they didn't used to do this. Like, I feel like news has gotten so lazy lately.
It's cheaper, yeah, it is, because I guess satellite feeds are expensive. So let's see what Corbell ends this on.
All right.
The amount of information that normal people can handle. Is there an argument the government should withhold some information?
The poison right now is the lack of information and the lack of proper reporting on this.
Yes.
The only remedy and the only cure is to inform the American and global public. We are living in a data-rich environment when it comes to UFOs, or UAP, as you say. But the real danger is secrecy and lack of transparency. And what Nick said is correct. And I know because I've directly spoken with the witnesses that have already taken action that is not yet public to come forward. And America will lead by example, as we do at our greatest moments in history. But this is not an American issue. This is a global issue. It's not just bipartisan. And that's why you see AOC and Representative Tim Burchett leading the charge here, from people who are under oath, who have been designated to protect our national interest as well as our global interest. And we need to really look at how we treat David Grusch right now, because these hearings, these historic hearings that you saw, was the first time in history that people are talking with firsthand information where they directly engaged UFOs in a combat situation as well as in training times. So what we see right now is an emboldening and an empowering of people who desire to come forward because it is the right, the just, the ethical, and the legal thing to do. But we need to see how David Grusch, who is the only whistleblower that was standing up there, the other two people, they were just testifying. George Knapp and I, my mentor in journalism, we also put something on congressional record so that the public would be informed. People should look at that.
Both of you, thank you very much for your time. We've learned quite a bit there about UFOs.
All right, yeah. But, I feel he did a good job there because he steered it from being a joke to something serious, and then she, started taking it seriously. But he's talking about the threat op too. Like, he's trying to put that angle also. Like, I forgot what he called it, something about surprise. Threat of surprise or something. Yeah. Basically, that he wants the public to know that these things are out there. They are more advanced than us, and he doesn't want us to be taken over by surprise. But it's been 80 years, dude.
Yeah, you think they would have done it by now?
Yeah,
if that was their intention. I mean, how hard would it be, honestly? Dude, you sent so many just documents this week.
Well, here's one from the Reagan Library. So apparently, the Majestic documents came out in the 80s.
MJ12,
MJ12 documents it came out in the 80s. And researchers wanted the White House to tell them if it's real or not. So this is from the Reagan Library. Someone wrote a letter to the White House when Reagan was president to authenticate these things. And I think the White House wrote that they can't authenticate. I think that's the last. This is how they do it. It's January 5th, January 11th. Yeah. So it starts from the last one and it goes January 5th is what? Also the White House. Okay.
1988.
Yeah, January 5th. Well, the last one is January 11th, 1988, saying that the White House they're not in a position to authenticate. They didn't say that they're fake. They just say that they're not in a position to authenticate upon private request documents.
Yeah, I feel like if it was fake, the government would just say, "Oh, this is BS." I mean, they've got all the manpower and time in the world to authenticate these, and they refuse to do so.
Yeah, and they can just keep throwing on other people. Like it finally got to the White House, but who's this? Freedom of Information Act request. Peter Keisler. Who's Peter Keisler? Sir, I've been referred to you by Anne. Anyway, this, who knows how long it took, but it's the MJ12 documents, Majestic 12 documents.
I'm trying to remember the name of the UFO researcher that found these. He's a famous guy.
Cooper? Was it Cooper or Tim Cooper?
No, it wasn't Cooper.
Will, not Cooper. Yeah, there's two guys, but I know who the main one is. Yeah, they sent him these documents. See, 1954, they have even like the meetings. So these are the documents. Here it is.
Yeah.
Operation, it's blocked out. Preliminary briefing for blocked out. But here are the names: Admiral Roscoe Hellencotter, Dr. Vanover Bush, Secretary Forrestal, General Twining.
The Hellencotter, that's the supposed spaceship that we've got, right?
Yes, and
the USS Hellencotter.
He's he's involved in Roswell and the cover-up. All these people are involved.
Yeah.
Vandenberg, Dr. Vronk, Dr. Who's this? Mr. Gray, Mr. Menzel. Then you can't
those
really
are Cheeto stands, I think.
So yeah, these are the Majestic 12 documents.
Okay, yes, it's all blacked out.
All blacked out.
Yeah,
well,
this is scary stuff, man.
The important stuff is blacked out. But this is from the Reagan Library.
Yeah, I mean, that's super interesting. I mean, it's official, like it's legit.
Yeah, even though they said we cannot authenticate, or we're not in a position to authenticate, it went through the different channels all the way up to the president of the United States. Oh, look at that, Air Force. So this guy must have been, Mr. Graham. He must have been someone for them to actually care.
Yeah.
Look, executive order. This is why it went to the White House per executive order.
Super interesting stuff.
Executive correspondence. These are all those documents that came out. They sent it to the government.
They all have Cheeto stains on them. So we're looking at a PDF of documents that were submitted to the White House.
Right.
It's really interesting stuff. Again, long and hard to read on a phone.
I mean, yeah, we could definitely do a deep dive into each one of these that we share.
Yeah, we could do a whole podcast. We could do a whole podcast on every one of these pages.
Isn't that exactly? That's how detailed it is and what it goes into. It just shows you how so much has been done with this subject.
Yeah. I mean, basically the long and short of it is this, we're only hearing about it now, and now it's being destigmatized. But this has been going on for a really long time, and people shouldn't be surprised, but they will be because they're ding-dongs.
Yeah. And someone told me the other day, is like, you can't really be upset by someone's beliefs at some certain period of time. Like, they're just not ready for it or whatever. And, they become ready for it, and you can't really do anything about it.
It's so frustrating because imagine I walk up to a random person in public and hit him in the head with a baseball bat over and over and over again. And they go, "That's not a baseball bat." And it's just like, how are you not getting this? This is a baseball bat. And they're going, no,
a baseball bat.
No. You're a conspiracy theorist. That's not a baseball bat. It's a cricket thing. I couldn't
a golf club.
It's a golf club. And you're going, no, it's a baseball bat. I'm hitting you in the head with a baseball bat. And they're going, no, you're a psycho. You're a crazy person. You're a conspiracy theorist.
And that's what our show is. It's we are sitting there, we're bashing your head with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Hello,
exactly.
Hello, wake up.
Yeah.
There's so much out there. This website's great, UFOexplorations.com. They focus a lot on Roswell, but I thought this would be interesting. This guy, Dr. Ernst Steinhoff, he's a paperclip scientist.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I know what you mean by paperclip scientist.
Oh, yeah.
I think you should explain to the audience what paperclip scientist means.
Yes. Operation Paperclip is after we won World War II. There was an operation to bring
Operation Paperclip.
Operation Paperclip to bring over Nazi scientists from Germany to the United States. But because we had laws against Nazis, we had to. The operation was actually changing their identities and their political affiliation. So basically, if someone was a Nazi, they'll put "not Nazi."
Yeah, I know, not a Nazi. We split them with the well, they were Soviets back then. We split them with the Russians.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, our whole NASA program was built off the back of Nazis.
Werner von Braun. Exactly. So that's what. So
just so everyone knows.
Yes, and that's the history of this. So Dr. Ernst Steinhoff was a member of Werner von Braun's technical inner circle as one of the most brilliant aero and rocket engineers. And both Steinhoff's son and his good friend attest that Steinhoff was very Roswell aware. Also brought to Fort Bliss by the Americans after the war as a valuable technical resource, Steinhoff was the German second in command of the paperclip scientists' technical work under von Braun. So, what Steinhoff told his friends about Roswell. Cornelius Klaus Niels Belsius is a retired doctor living in New Mexico. He indicated to researcher Tom Carey that in 1965 he met Steinhoff in a New Jersey hospital. The two Germans became fast and close friends, and Steinhoff later visited Belsius in New Mexico. In 1973, Belsius says that he was told an extraordinary story by his friend Steinhoff. In 1947, a select group of paperclip scientists were taken by federal authorities to the New Mexico desert for a purpose left unstated. They were escorted to an area with strange wreckage from an aerial object and then asked to study the crash site. The Americans wanted assurance that it wasn't a Soviet or other foreign country origin.
Once again.
Yeah, there's a foreign thing. Yeah.
Oh, we don't know what this is. Must be foreigners.
Yeah, those damn foreigners. Steinhoff said it was not. They were instructed to not remove any material from the crash site. He said that he heard that some of the material was taken to underground facilities at Wright Airfield. He requested of Belsius that he never say anything until after Steinhoff, passed away. Steinhoff died in 1987 at 79 years of age.
Wow.
Yeah, so just more proof.
Hold on, I think your microphone died or something.
Yeah, sorry, I have to get up. My damn cat was scratching at the door.
Oh, okay. I was like, I could hear you, but you're far away.
Yeah, what happened there? So yeah, I mean, great website. This is the homepage, and you can go through all the other guys as Brigadier General Donald, Flickinger.
Man, now that's a porn name right there.
Flickinger, yeah, I know what a Flickinger that was. Von Braun, all the paperclip guys, Nazis. A lot of these Nazi guys were saying that they were helped back in Germany. Do you think they were just the UFOs just followed them, saying, "Wait a minute,"
No, I just think, as we've talked about, this phenomenon has been happening everywhere, all over the place, for a long time.
Right.
And, they lucked out in 1947.
And we were just doing crazier shit too, I think, or not, at least not, blowing. We don't blow up the atmosphere anymore, or space, or we're not doing that those crazy experiments. So I don't know if do you know about journalist Dorothy Kilgallen?
I think we've mentioned her on the show before. I don't really know much about her. I think you like one of our very early episodes that no one should go listen to. I think you mentioned her before, but let's give a listen.
This remarkable woman is Dorothy Kilgallen. She was an extremely well-connected media personality and nationally syndicated newspaper columnist from the 1940s through the mid-60s. While she was best known to Americans old enough to remember this period of time as a longtime panelist on the then very popular TV show, What's My Line? Make no mistake about it, she was also a very serious investigative writer who maintained a very highly critical attitude of the way that the press had treated the Kennedy assassination and wrote openly and fairly accurately about the UFO cover-up in the 50s and into the 60s. Her column in the now defunct Journal American, which was read by quite a few million people every week, called The Voice of Broadway, alternated between an old-fashioned celebrity gossip column and hardcore investigative writing. In 1952, for example, she reported on an unidentified flying object that had crashed near Spitsbergen, Norway. Rational concern that the wreck might represent advanced Russian technology was undercut by the testimony of a Norwegian Air Force colonel who claimed that the Board of Inquiry that had looked into this, quote, some time ago, a misunderstanding was caused by saying that the disc probably was of Soviet origin. It has, this we wish to state emphatically, not been built by any country on Earth, end quote.
Anyway, really cool. It's not that long, this presentation, but going into her, and then she came up in other research that I saw this last week, also with Marilyn Monroe. There's a picture with her next to Marilyn Monroe. So anyway, the group took her out too. She died She died at a young age, just like Marilyn Monroe.
Now that's an episode, the death of Marilyn Monroe, because I don't think she died. What did they say? Drug overdose?
Yeah, no, they killed her, man.
No, they definitely killed her.
Yeah, they did. And
yeah. If there's one woman I could ever be with, she's
your taste. She's totally your taste.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe. Woo-wee. Right up.
So apparently, she slept with both JFK and RFK.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yes, and
she definitely had a drug problem, but I don't think she died.
I mean, she did. Overdose. No, the CIA. So some of the documents that came out,
Secret Service killed her.
Yeah, or CIA because someone was listening to her, and there were documents that came out of her talking to someone on the phone, talking about RFK and JFK, but she also talked about the UFOs, and that JFK told her, and that she was going to say something, and that's part of the reason why they took her out.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me one bit. Hey, our government is purely evil, huh?
Yeah, especially when it comes to this subject.
Yeah, no kidding.
They don't joke around about it. Yeah, I mean, so like you said, we can do a complete episode just on that. You did send me.
I didn't. I apologize. I didn't send a lot this week. All right.
No, that's fine. You sent. Remember the Peruvian alien thing that's going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but not the original one he sent me. He sent me an article on it.
Yeah,
and that's what I can't find. But then there's been people who've been going through these videos. This is a really good video.
It's actually, it kind of really scares me, to be honest.
Here, let's see what we.
Yeah, let's play.
Hello, friends. Large. Let's enjoy this video enhanced breakdown of the supposed Laredo, Peru alien invasion that's been going on for the past 2 days. Let's cut right to an enhancement of the video in which we have a flashlight being shone on something that appears to be green perched atop someone's roof while looking down on these frantic people on the street. We see a few men in the foreground, one of which is possibly manipulating this flashlight to highlight whatever it is. A lady can be heard screaming in terror regarding this thing that she can apparently see with her naked eyes. And perhaps this town has been seeing these things for the past 72 hours because this video has been released and is part of many that have been released in the past 2 days.
I mean, obviously something's going on, right? If they're screaming like this.
So this small town in Peru, they claim that they've been being harassed for a period of, I don't know, like, what did they say, a week? I can't remember what the thing says.
Yeah, I did find the article that you sent me.
They've been harassed by 10-foot tall aliens, 7 foot. Oh, okay. 7 feet tall aliens, dubbed face peelers, as they plead with authorities to send backup. I mean, they're obviously going through something. Obviously, I don't speak the language, but you can tell that they're absolutely terrified. And they caught this thing on camera. It's not great footage, obviously.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not great footage. But
it never is.
Yeah.
But these people are clearly being harassed, by something that's not human.
I think it was Biden and Pelosi.
We're looking at the comments on the article now.
One on too much medication.
No.
And the other wasted.
This is one of those things, where they say like, oh, it's mass hallucination, which isn't a thing. I mean, maybe it is. I'm not a doctor, but I have a hard time believing all these people were seeing the same thing and freaking out about it, and they caught it on camera, but it's a hallucination, like. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. He goes through the video. No, I'm with you there. I mean, especially all these people. What do they want? Like tourist dollars in the future or something? It's not like the newspapers are paying them for their stories or anything.
This isn't a grift.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that damn word again.
Yep.
They're all grifters in that village. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
They're making money off a website and toys.
Yeah, totally.
All right, he focuses more on this video. Like he goes he zooms in and stuff. So let's see what he.
It's very notable that there is terror in the hearts and minds of these Peruvians, and I don't want to discount this at all. I want to do my best at enhancing this video. Let's zoom in. I honestly can't understand what I'm seeing. It just looks like something with multiple limbs and possibly large black eyes, but it also seems to be morphing or changing in shape, which I don't know if that is some kind of distortion caused by the movement of the flashlight, but there seems to be something there. And I slowed down the footage so that you can take a closer look in slow-mo.
It's like a plasma.
I don't know what this is. However, according to reports from Peruvian news agencies over the past 48 hours, there seems to be multiple people in this town that literally were busting caps in these intruders' asses.
Nice.
Busting caps. But, you know...
I haven't heard that phrase since mid-2000s. 2005.
He's got to be your age or my age. Busting caps. But did you see how it morphs? It's like...
I honestly, I don't think it's morphine. I think it's an artifact from both the flashlight and the camera. I think it's probably just moving. And it
looks like, yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. It could be anything there.
Because
those are bushes. Those are bushes.
This is footage at night, obviously with like a phone camera, and the only source of light is the flashlight. I don't think it's morphine. I think it's just moving, and it's around brush, and
it could look like that. It can definitely look like eyes all the time, and you could scare people if something is really going on, and then you just do something like this with a flashlight. You're gonna scare people.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever seen that hoax now going on social media, the invisible danger?
I haven't. No.
Okay, so they're recording, and it's just they're just chilling in a room, but then one of them acts like something is up, so the other person starts reacting. Like, what's going on? What's going on? You know, if someone's like, oh, and starts screaming like randomly that something's there.
It sounds like one of those psychological tests. Also, we should talk about that lady on the airplane. Have we talked about that?
Oh no! Was that this week or last week?
No, God, that was like
doxxed. Did she get doxxed?
It's like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
No, I know when it originally happened, but when you sent me something that she basically got doxxed, right? They found out who she was.
Yeah.
Did they? Okay, who was she?
She was like. That's the thing is she was like an executive at a marketing firm or something. Like she wasn't some like gas station employee. She was like that's the crazy thing. But yeah, they did end up finding her. Man. Have you seen that video? I mean, she's going nuts. She's going, that guy's not real.
Right,
that
exactly.
Guy's not real.
So what, is she trying to market something?
No, I don't think so. I mean, what was funny or weird is it took like weeks for people to find her. No one knew who she was. I mean, she got the whole plane grounded for like a few hours, and no one could figure out who she was for the longest time. They finally figured it out.
But yeah, someone should then she should like say something like why she did it, or was it real, or
I think the official explanation is she was drunk.
What?
Which I don't know.
Or maybe edibles. Maybe she was on edibles or something.
Had to have been drugs. I don't know.
I mean,
the official story, or not the official story, the story that I heard immediately after was really scary. That the guy she was talking to, like he was in a hoodie. Well,
yeah, no. I think we showed that on an episode. That one
did we?
The guy with the tattoos, and the guy, and he looked over and he gave him a wink. You know.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so we did talk about that.
Yeah, and then someone else was on TikTok, and then he goes, "I'm the guy," and then he was some Mason or something like that.
Yeah, but that turned out not to be real, and
that one wasn't real. No, but the one you're talking about wasn't real either. That guy was lying too. All right. Well, let's see. What are we at now? We're at an hour and 20, dude.
I know. We're starting to push 2 hours every episode.
Okay. Well, it's fine. I mean, people are listening. It's not like they're not listening, and they're going all the way through.
Yeah. All right. Good.
All right, so you sent me this in 1993. 6 hikers were trekking near Lake Baikal in Siberia, another Siberian thing, Baikal, when they were suddenly overcome with horrific symptoms. Blood streamed from their eyes and noses. They clutched at their throats and bashed their heads against rock. A lot of people are saying this is probably like a nerve agent or something.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's just bizarre to me that they would come across, I don't know, a nerve agent bomb or whatever, like in the middle of Siberia.
That's true. It is Siberia too. Like Siberia is not ever at war.
Right. It's just one of those weird, bizarre stories. I love high strangeness. This is high strangeness to me.
Definitely high strangeness.
Yeah, I mean, they went nuts.
Yeah, and bashing their heads and blood coming from. I mean,
yeah,
it could have been a microwave thing too. Microwaves can do that kind of stuff.
I mean, it was something.
Yeah.
It definitely I don't think it's nerve gas, but I definitely think they came across some sort of.
It could have been like a natural kind of nerve gas, a nerve gas.
Yeah, maybe. I just think they came across some weapon they weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
I don't think it was nerve gas.
That's the thing when you hike up in the mountains, you're gonna come across weird stuff like that.
Yeah, but like, why would it be up there? What is that protecting or helping?
That's what I'm leaning into, something that's natural. It could be like
I think you might be right.
Some kind of gas that comes out, like
I mean, something happened.
Is it methane? I forget. Like the oracle, there's some oracle in ancient Greece, like because they used to go to this cave, a certain cave or something, and they found really high amounts of like methane or something coming up from the earth.
Maybe that's what it was. Who knows?
In there,
just a weird story altogether.
Now, this also happened last week, and it's a big drama. I just remembered now, just looking at this. David Grusch, his medical records were leaked in a hit piece.
Yeah, that was some bullshit. But I'm happy that the general public is, realize that this is a hit piece.
Most people realize the hit piece. It's really messed up to leak that someone has PTSD.
Yeah.
And basically the military still kept his clearance. So obviously they know he's okay. They were fine with keeping his clearance. But he has a personal statement.
Well, hold on. I mean, back to the hit piece. You shared with me that the author was what was he? He was military of some sort.
Oh no, that's Green Street though. But yeah. I mean, yes, they're not the same author. But Green Street turns out that on his LinkedIn and some of his
no.
Are you talking about? No, he's with the Intercept. That guy. Wait, is it this?
I could have sworn
this guy, Klippenstein.
Yeah, I could have sworn you shared with me that he like had some military background or something.
Was that today?
No. This is sometime this week.
So maybe we'll get to that. Military, but I mean, here's the hit piece, right? I mean, maybe we'll get to that. Let's see. If not, then I'll have to go and find, or maybe while I'm looking at this stuff, maybe you can.
Yeah,
maybe you can find it. If there's something like that. But so apparently this guy, Klippenstein, he wrote a hit piece on Grusch. Now, usually this information is protected by HIPAA, medical information, so you can't release this stuff. But if it's in the public record and if you got it off FOIA, like this guy did, like from the police or the government, then it can be released. But then, what is the purpose of releasing this, right? And that's what everyone is asking here. Like, is he going after Grusch? Is he saying the guy he's crazy and that's why he's saying these things? Well, if he's crazy, why would the government still keep his high clearances? So it makes no sense, but it will make sense to a debunker or someone who doesn't believe the story anyway. It works, It's like, oh yeah, see, I knew he was crazy. None of this stuff is real. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's nuts. And then that's it. They dismiss it. So millions of Americans would dismiss Grusch's story now because of this stupid hit piece. I mean, in our bubbles, obviously not. I haven't seen it.
I don't know. I honestly, so I think the thing I was thinking that you'd sent me was I read it on Reddit, but he's got He's like CIA or FBI or something.
Obviously, right?
Yeah. Anyway, it's good to see general public isn't dismissing Grusch. I mean, at least I don't think they are.
No, I mean, not what I'm seeing, but the hardcore like ones that can't handle the truth are going to love that article, and they'll see it in their circles being shared.
The CNN Watchers Anonymous.
Yeah, and there you go. There's whatever. It'll probably be millions of people that are like, all right, yeah, I knew it anyway, and that's what these things. Yeah. So anyway, he released their personal statement. Maybe we don't have to read it here. People can just check it out. But
if this doesn't prove that our government is just releasing propaganda and that our news corporations aren't working directly with the government, I don't know what will.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a complete hit piece, and it's the Intercept which Whitney Webb has and others have proved that has been an op from the beginning. Snowden came to the Intercept first, and the people that came after Snowden were jailed. They went to the Intercept. So this is really a CIA operation. Yeah, the Intercept is a CIA operation, and that's what our listeners should know, and that's why, of course, it comes out of the Intercept. And it's not people. Most people are saying is like, look, the guy had PTSD. Why are you releasing that? It's a well-known issue, PTSD too. It's not a big deal, and it's a spectrum. And the guy went to Afghanistan. It's normal in his line of work.
Yeah. Well, what's even more upsetting? Corbell got cut out of that photo.
Dude, please remind me. I have to take a clip of that for the show. A lot of people are going to find that just hilarious.
All right, so what's this next one you've got? Oh, this is what we were just talking. Yeah,
So, but it's on News Nation, and it's Cuomo. See, there's always something that gets thrown at me. So now, Cuomo.
Yeah, this was a really good clip that you shared with me.
Yeah, and Cuomo is upset that is a hit piece on Grusch, and then Coulthard is a guest. So yeah, I don't want to play the whole thing. It's long. What the hell is going on here? Internet problems today.
I can't believe, I haven't had internet problems since I was 16.
Yeah, and we haven't had them on the show ever.
No, never.
We're getting close to the truth. I said the word CIA too many times, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I sent you. We follow him on Twitter. He follows us too. I don't know if he's starting listening, maybe, but he's the editor of Nexus Magazine. I sent them your way. Duncan Rhodes.
Yeah.
He says, and he's been doing this for 40 years. He says the intelligence community control of all U.S. American agencies, he goes, is absolute. Is what he says.
Yeah. Does not.
Look at that. This won't work.
Is there any way I can play it on my screen?
You could present. You'd need the link though. Okay, wait a minute.
Some of the link.
Unfortunately, when he came back from Afghanistan, like a lot of men in your country and in mine, he struggled with the demons of what he'd seen in combat. And at one time, he wouldn't mind me telling you this, he was suicidal. And his lovely wife was so concerned about him that at one stage she did call the police because there were guns in the house. She wanted to make sure he was protected. And in the end, David was taken to a local hospital, given the treatment that he needed. And indeed, this is the most important thing, Chris, the intelligence community and the Defense Department clearly accepted that there was no issue because he was allowed to keep his security clearance and he continued to serve his country honorably. Now, there was in the documents that were prepared at the time, there was a thing called a temporary detention order, which transferred him to a medical psychiatric unit, an inpatient program, where he got the treatment that he needed. And this is a document that would be, if the media had done the right thing, it would be in his police department file, in the county sheriff's office. But Dave has checked today because he assumed that the journalist had done his homework and just asked the local sheriff for the files. The sheriff has confirmed it did not come from him. The only other place that had this information is the intelligence community.
Boom. Yes.
So cool.
Yeah, it wasn't what, and I'm sorry to say this, it wasn't what John Greenwald Jr. said. I mean, he's like, which I don't blame him for getting here, but that was before this. But he said that it came from the police, right? This was being contemplated that it came from the police. But it's probably Kirkpatrick, if you ask me. He's the OD.
Well,
he's upset at Grusch.
I mean, it's just that side of the government that's trying to discredit Grusch. That side of the schism.
But even John Greenwald, after saying that it wasn't leaked by the intelligence community, said, I may have my skepticism about David Grusch's overall claims about non-human craft and bodies, but the mental health struggles like PTSD of a veteran used as a tool in this debate, no matter the side wielding it, is wrong.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Wow, what podcast is that? Because they posted a fucking book. Sorry.
We follow each other. Sonic Gravity Podcast.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. Love you guys. You guys are great.
Yeah, but do they listen? Is the question. You know what I mean?
Well, here's hoping they do. Hoping they do.
I think it's a respect thing.
Kind of hoping they don't because of my last statement.
Nah, they get it, man. And he did it all in good faith. It's funny.
Yeah, this is, I'm a comedy guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the comedy is what makes the
world go round, baby.
It really does. And when they started ruining comedy, the woke crowd,
don't even get me started.
So this is a long post, but I really liked it. I shared it with you, and it basically says, like, look, obviously there's some fight going on, and it just doesn't make sense that they are just throwing this stuff at Grusch and trying to discredit the guy. Anyway, he goes through that. He was under oath. He went through to SCIFs. He's been with the Inspector General who agreed with him. Like, there's so many reasons to support Grusch than not support him, basically.
Yeah.
This might be the same video. I'm not sure.
Story. Last night's show. Ross Coulthart, the journalist who interviewed UFO whistleblower David Grusch exclusively for News Nation. In the interview, Grusch accuses the government of withholding information about UFOs from the public. And he says, look, bad things have happened to people who traffic in this and wanting transparency. He feared retaliation. Shortly after he testifies, get this, he's contacted by a news organization, The Intercept, asking about his mental health records dating back some 5 years earlier. Coulthart told me he believes the government may have leaked those files in an effort to discredit the whistleblower. Take a listen.
The only
it's the same video.
From one part of a hospital to a psychiatric part.
Okay, yeah. So it's the same one. All right.
Anyway, that is. Oh man, I mean, we've talked about how much we hate government on this show, but that's such a dick move.
They're so dirty. They're so dirty. So dirty. And they always find something. No one's squeaky clean. No one's perfect.
No, of course
we're
not.
Human. We're human.
We've all got skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, and they were going to find something which they can put on something like The Intercept and try to discredit this guy. But it's great that at least News Nation is being that way. Definitely, a lot of the internet's being that way. People on both sides are saying this is wrong. I like that people have got to that level where we're not going to just use anything to discredit them. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah.
All right. So what do we got here?
You sent me this. I thought it was.
Yeah, this is super interesting.
Yeah. See it?
Yeah, something walking out in the forest.
The way it walks, though.
Yeah, it walks all wrong.
And it only gets up when the film starts. Here, wait. See how it just gets up there, and it's. I mean, so maybe it could be slowly walking though. Like,
all right, so audience, we're watching a video of what looks like a short gray
Well, no, tall gray.
Tall gray?
Right? Yeah, it looks tall.
It is from here.
Anyway,
Anyway,
it's naked.
Yeah, oh God, I don't like the way it walks. It's a video of this thing walking through the woods.
Yeah, the walking is hot, but the way it gets up and all right, so I'm torn now about this video. I was making fun of it before. Hey, where'd it go? But why does it start right then?
Yeah, I think it's fake.
Yeah.
Whoever faked this did a really good job, though.
Yeah, because it is eerie. Like they're like, don't look at me. I'm just gonna walk over here.
How do you
think
behavior? Do you think this is CGI? I mean, this can't be someone in the costume. The neck is way too thin.
That's gotta be CGI. Yeah, what did they say here? 5 days Punjabi Batman. That is hilarious. That's his name.
Yeah, what do the comments say?
Let's see.
This is on Reddit, by the way.
Yeah, he's on Reddit. So can't even piss from my skin pores in peace. Of course, that's the top one.
Of course, that's the top
one. He's so
one.
right though, because that encapsulates what happens. This guy just gets up and walks away.
Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah.
What's the next top comment? I want to see someone like
perfect.
Whatever the debunking is.
All right, he's been holding in that broth since they. All right, so I'm making fun of it.
Next top level comment.
All right. Actually, no. Yeah, is that why they're always naked? Oh, they're still answering that one. I like this one for some reason. Haha, no wonder the government will not publish UFO alien findings due to these comments.
Yeah, exactly.
I know people will just laugh at them.
Yeah, okay. So I'm assuming none of the top comments are going to explain anything. They're just going to make jokes.
They're all making jokes.
That's what Reddit is.
Oh, hey, lights and humans recording. Let me just slowly turn and walk away.
Yeah, sarcasm. Great. That helps.
Yeah, everyone's making fun of it. Why are aliens always just wandering into Cletus's trail cam at night?
Cletus, that's like a southern inbred person's name.
That's
the joke.
I did not know that. Cletus?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's mean for anyone who's named Cletus.
I had no idea.
Quite a leisurely pace.
Yeah, that's
okay.
true.
Okay.
No, but I think that makes it real. Yeah, go ahead.
None of these people discredit it. They just, I mean, this is just what Reddit is. People making jokes about dumb stuff.
Well, that's why people go on Reddit. Just laugh at the comments.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing in here that says this is fake and this is how I prove it. It's just
this guy. Here we go. Down here. So fucking fake. That's all he says.
Okay, how? Does it explain it?
Faker than my will to live.
Yeah, great. Explain how it's fake.
And that's it. All right, so that's the only one.
They just say fake. It's fake. That doesn't prove anything.
Fake as fuck. Stop farming karma.
OP.
All they think he's farming karma. Come on. That's what this guy does then. What's your name? Pac-Man fan. Fake sound effects, fake video. That's a good point. Is it really fake sound effects? I can't. That walking away though. I don't know. I do have issues with it. They can't. Maybe the CGI is really that good where
I don't know.
It does look like he's like, oh shit, I need to move away and slowly. Which
so again, and we've kind of talked about this. Aliens have, if aliens exist, they would have a much different agenda than us, right? So like humans, if you were in this situation, you'd be scared and hiding or something, right?
I just walk away like this. You wouldn't run.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay.
I'm back. I'm 50-50 on this one.
I was too. I was really making fun of it. And without reading the comments, by the way, I was like, oh, the sound. And, oh, he's naked.
The sound, I think, is definitely fake. The video, sure. I don't know. If that's CGI, that's Hollywood CGI.
It is
beyond Hollywood CGI. Because I've seen aliens in movies all the time, and they don't look as good as that one does.
Right. I'm trying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what's the date on this? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Huh.
But I can't stand people who just go, oh, that's fake, and they have no like follow up to that. Like that means nothing. Like I could like here, I'll post a comment.
For me, my issues are he's naked. It starts right when he gets up. This sounds not too much of an issue because someone could throw that in just for disinformation reasons. Wait, I think that's it.
Here's my Reddit comment right now.
Okay.
Peanut butter. It means nothing. And I'm not going to follow up. I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, you're going to get so many likes from that.
Peanut butter.
All right, let's see how many likes you get.
And then someone asked me, okay, why do you think it's peanut butter? And I just won't respond. And then that becomes proof that this video is in fact peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Yeah. He didn't respond. That's an interesting one. A really interesting one. Good find. We should come back to that sometime.
That'd be good. I mean, yeah,
or I'm sure Reddit has something on there.
Oh, fuck Reddit. Reddit's so fucking stupid. Sorry.
Wait, did you because I remember you lost. Did they reinstate you or did you get a new account?
No, I had downloaded the because I like to it doesn't matter. I had an old account that I was able to log into.
Oh, okay, cool. Fine. Yeah. So I think we should quickly. Oh, we're pretty much almost done. No surprise, General Milley denies UFO reports. We don't need to go through the details of this. It's just, of course, he's going to deny it. You know, he's. What is he? Is he the head of the army or head of the chief of staff? Oh, not chief of staff.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? He's just the government. So now some really cool articles are coming out. I sent this to you, Atmos.earth. I don't know it, but it looks like a cool website. But I'm just saying it's not like a fringe conspiracy website or anything. So this one's called Ancient Ties, Indigenous Peoples and the Extraterrestrial. Basically, it's saying it gives examples of ancient humans, right? In antiquity, Native Americans, in the Middle East, in Asia, in Europe, that they've always known about another species or something else out there. It's non-human intelligence. There we go. That's why we have that term. That's always been with us. So here goes. UAP sightings are breaking news is further proof that indigenous erasure is is this like a comic thing? After all, native nations around the globe have known of the existence of alien creatures for thousands of years.
We've got paintings. We've got paintings and stories and legends and myths.
Yes.
About
quote unquote myths, right?
Yeah. NHIs, non-human intelligences. These stories and everything have existed for a very, very long time, thousands of years, as it says at the top of the
thousands of years in our skies, interacting with us, guiding with us, helping us. It's never been never been hostile. That's my issue again with this. If that Grusch is not saying it's hostile though, but I don't like people like Corbell kind of says it's hostile. Kind of, he just says that us not knowing about it doesn't help us.
I think it's just I think it's just honestly with all of these I think it's just the fear of the unknown is really what it is.
Fear of the unknown. Yeah. All right. Where were we? Okay, we're doing the ancient ties thing. I'll just move on from that.
Yeah.
King Charles called on to release the truth on UFOs, prepare religious for impact of ET life. This is getting crazy. It's Fox News, so that is mainstream right there. King Charles is under pressure to call on the British government to release information about UFOs. Yeah.
Good.
I know, right?
Do you believe UAPs pose a potential threat to our national security?
Yes. Do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely.
Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
Biologics came with some of these recoveries.
Human or non-human biologics?
Non-human.
There is money in the budget that is said to go to a program, but it doesn't, and it goes to something else?
Yes, I have specific knowledge of that.
Well, we covered that hearing, and it's truly, truly amazing. and we're going to dissect it a little bit further tonight. It's time for tonight's Common Ground segment. This evening, we deal with the UFO or UAP issue, which has gone from a fringe topic to warranting the significance of that congressional hearing and much more investigation just a few days ago. Joining us tonight, Wisconsin Republican Congressman Glenn Grothman and California Democratic Congressman Robert Garcia.
All right, I don't think they're going to talk about this. Sorry. I think it's just a video. I don't think they're going to talk about King Charles. But apparently King Charles, like his father, Prince Philip, had an interest in UFOs.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's cool to see that this is now a global issue and not just like whatever the interviewer was saying. It's not a fringe issue anymore.
I mean, it's the King of England.
Yeah.
Right, which many people will say is the real empire still.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's cool that he's doing that. They're pushing him for that. We're at the end of this show. I sent you something about, it's a COVID thing though, and about the vaccines. So maybe we can skip this, but it's new science that came out that
just give a quick summary real quick.
Yeah, and there's a scientific report that came out that they're finding DNA in the vaccines, that it's not just RNA, and that it's 33% of the weight of the jabs or something like that. And it didn't go out in all the jabs. What's being found out is that there were different batches, and they experimented. They, as in the DOD and the pharmaceutical.
Good God in heaven.
Yes, and they experimented to see how, if they put this much DNA here, what would it do? And so in this post, it says myocarditis has an established death rate of 50%. Germany has an 86% rise in all-cause mortality compared to normal. It's a really long clip, 34 minutes, but it's bombshell information, and I'd love to cover it somehow.
We were talking about, you put out a video. It went viral after I retweeted it out with some comments on it. Well over 1 million, I think it got to 1.5 or 1 million views thereabouts. It went pretty big, pretty quickly, and it's still being viewed. And then you and I did an interview talking about that and going into a little bit more detail, and that's gone into multiple hundreds of thousands of views now as well. Well, as we came to the sort of the last part of the last podcast that we did together, you talked about something that nearly made me fall off my chair, because you had talked about DNA being in the vaccine. And I want to find out all about that. But before we do that, I'd just like to ask you, have you seen the coverage in Australia to do with the Australian senators and what they've been saying about the vaccines, and asking these people from Pfizer and Moderna? Have you seen any of that, Chris?
Absolutely, for sure. I've seen the questions. I've seen the rather duplicitous and awkward answers that Pfizer gave or was not able to give. It's been quite fascinating. Yes.
Right. I'm just wanting to pull up so I make sure I get the quotes correct. But it was Australian Senator Malcolm Roberts from Queensland, I think he is. And he was talking about a number of things, but he made some very, very startling comments. And I'd just like to quote these to you. The senator says that those who said, and I quote, safe and effective were lying, and I quote, that is malfeasance, deliberate ignorance to maintain the safe and effective lie. Then he also went on to say, and I quote, 1 in 35 recipients of a Moderna COVID booster experienced myocarditis.
All right, it goes on. That's right. There was another clip I wanted to share. So this is related. So I didn't know it was related, but the Australian government, I guess, brought in Pfizer and started asking them questions.
Oh wait, and the huge pharmaceutical company lied about stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is insane to me. I cannot believe it.
So Jimmy Dore, this is only 1 minute and 9 seconds. He's great. So he does a comedy. He does it funnily though. Yeah, this is
mandate. If you don't get vaccinated and you're above 60 years old, €100 per month penalty.
Fine.
It's a fine.
Nobody was forced to have a vaccine.
because they work. I've seen it. Even at Pfizer, we had to make a mandate for vascular people, and although we were at 90%, but this 90 was not moving, and it moved to 97%.
You got it up to what?
97
Mhm.
vaccinated, so it's a very big deal.
So there's those two clowns from Pfizer answering questions to politicians in Australia saying that nobody was ever mandated. Here's the president of their own company saying that they had a mandate at their own company. These people are criminal liars. I just can't get. And so this is the latest lie now. The latest lie is no one was ever for. The first lie was the vaccine would stop the transmission and it would stop the pandemic. The second lie was we never said the vaccine would stop the transmission and stop the pandemic. And now the third lie is that, we never mandated it. We never made it that everybody could have a choice to take the vaccine. We never made anybody take it. And people repeat this and believe it.
Oh my God, I can't believe they're saying like they never mandated people. It's so crazy.
I know, man.
It's
the
crazy.
Biggest frustration for me is that none of them will ever be held accountable for what they did.
No, and it's because the National Security Act and because the DOD was involved, and that's what they'll say. And as long as we have this system and it goes back to UFOs too, they do the same thing with that. As long as we're in the same national security system, we're never ever gonna be free. Seriously.
Yeah,
physically or mentally.
It's totally mentally, especially. Yeah, no, it's totally true, man.
Yeah, it
sucks.
And we all knew it'd get here, and they'll just gaslight you, and it doesn't matter because they're all protected by law.
Yep,
completely protected.
It's it's super frustrating. And then people wonder why we've got mass shooters or people shooting up schools and stuff like that. I mean.
You have to be strong-minded to to get through this, all this craziness,
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's hard, to live not only in this country but in this world. And then, once you see through the lie, it gets even harder.
Yeah, because it is such a mysterious reality and a mysterious planet with a mysterious history and maybe future. So, to try to make it that it's not mysterious and it just goes against, being human.
Yeah.
Or what makes us human. So for the government to sit there, oh no, we got all figured out. Don't worry. This is the story.
Yeah.
It just goes against us. But that, I guess, you mentioned this movie to me.
Yeah, I mean it's not a great movie, but it's a good movie. I liked it. I've seen it a couple times.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it a lot. To tell you the truth, it has that low budget, not great acting thing, but the storyline is great. The directing is still great too,
and it's got the one of the coolest depiction of Men in Black that I've ever seen. I think that's kind of why I'm so drawn to this movie.
And the idea of the them, what they're doing or what their interest is really made sense too at the end there.
Yeah.
Watching it. So I really like this movie, The Alien Code.
Definitely. Yeah, sorry. Do we even I think you just mentioned the name of the movie right
quickly
now. But yeah, it's Alien Code. It's on Prime.
Yeah.
I know my mom won't be able to get through it. It's too scary for her and probably too weird, to be honest.
Yeah.
But for our listeners out there, if you haven't seen it, and if you're listening to this show, you know what we're about. Go watch this movie. It's pretty good. And we're not like sponsored by this movie or anything.
No, definitely not. It's a good time. It's not
even rated that high.
No, it wasn't. But there's many movies I like that are not rated high.
Yeah, me too.
And there could be many reasons for that. It's probably not all the acting, but a lot of the acting, could be done better. But it's not a big budget movie.
No,
so you have to keep that in mind.
It's not. So what? Now I'm curious because I'm an actor, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think any of the acting was that bad. What part? Like, do you have any part in mind that you thought wasn't very
let's
good?
see, a part in mind. Well, Alex. Not all the time. At the end, he got good. So, which means he was self-conscious maybe in the beginning or something like that. But at the end, he got good. The NSA chick, she was not good.
Oh yeah, no, she wasn't very good.
Yeah,
okay,
and that's an important role for her to be good at. I think.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay, now I get it. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. So just that. No, it just wasn't. I just have high standards. That's all. But I still really like this movie, and again, I do recommend watching it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't watch it. I'm just very picky. That's all. Now, there's another thing. We can't get into it because we're at 2 hours already. I know we're only at 2 hours because the internet went out a couple of times.
Yeah,
but MH370 has been something. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but it's a hole to go into.
Which one? Sorry, I was talking.
MH370.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's good to add another 15 minutes, but yeah.
Easily.
Down.
It's up to you. We can do it.
No. Let's do it because this is popping up in the news. Well, in the news online, it's popping up.
Yeah,
all over the place right now.
We will share the mega thread that's on Reddit that goes.
So MH370 was that Malaysian flight that disappeared. God, like 10 years ago, 9 years ago.
Yeah, 2007, I think, right?
Yeah, 2007.
Wait.
No. That happened. It happened when I was in college, so it had to have been like 2010. No.
Oh yeah. No, or 14 even.
14. Yeah, I think 15. It was.
No, there's no.
Anyway, there's this thread on Reddit where they apparently have footage of the plane going missing. It's bizarre.
And you want to? I can show it.
Yeah, go ahead and show it. I mean, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know if any of this is verified, but
for some reason they said now it's verified satellite footage.
Flip. So this is a video that's the whole thing. This is a video that was posted like 3 months after the plane disappeared, and then it got scrubbed from the internet. Anyway,
it's still being scrubbed now.
Yeah, it is. You can see the plane. An orb comes up to it and starts circling it, and then 2 more orbs show up and start circling it. It's actually kind of scary, and they're not circling it in like a I don't know, like
it's like an elliptical plane.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. It's not. Yeah, it's very bizarre. And then the thing is, the plane just vanishes. And to this day, we still have not found any wreckage from the plane. They thought they did. They found like a tail fin or something, but that turned out it wasn't. Yep, boom, there it goes. It just flashes and it's gone. And there's multiple. I mean, it's so bizarre. They've got multiple, views of this happening. It's a very, very cool thread on Reddit.
Yeah, they're saying here there's an active censorship campaign.
Yeah, every time one of these videos gets posted, it gets deleted by quote unquote, something. Here it is. Oh, geez, it's so bizarre. Anyway, you see the plane, and it's been verified that at least it's the same type of plane. So if someone's faking this, they did a really good job. But yeah, it's so creepy.
It just disappears. Boop. Yeah.
Boop. So there's a show that came out. Oh man, it's on Netflix. It's about a plane and its passengers disappearing. What is it called?
What? On Netflix? You got to be kidding me.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, it's okay.
Oh, it's a new one. It's a movie or a series.
I mean, the last
Lost?
season.
Not Lost.
It's not. Well, Lost was great, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Lost was great. Although not the end. I don't want to ruin it for everyone. That sucks. That's the ending.
No, I like the ending of Lost. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
I did. I thought it was good.
Out.
I think it's the whole last season solved all the mysteries that were on the island. No, I mean, the middle of Lost.
Dude, I loved it.
You can tell they were just you can tell they were just meandering. But by the end, I think
it's J.J. Abrams too, right?
Yeah. Mystery box guy.
Yeah, he's good. Mystery box guy.
It's really cool footage, though. I mean, I like it. I mean, it's bizarre.
Yeah, it is very cool footage. I did watch something about so these planes are called MH, right? Because of Malaysian Airlines. So MH was just 370.
Yeah.
But then is MH17 or is it 1 or 317? Because there was 2.
Yeah, I know. There was one that got lost right after this.
Yeah, and they're saying that one of them was shot down in Ukraine. It's not.
Yeah,
this one, right?
I've heard that. So I've read on X, formerly Twitter,
right,
that this is the aliens' plan to reveal themselves. They're going to bring the plane back with all the passengers, and that's the plan, to be like, hey, we're real. None of this is fake. That's obviously a far-fetched theory, but it'd be super cool. I mean, it does feel like a movie.
It does feel like a movie. All right, maybe we should end with Eric Davis. He's a well-known crash retrieval guy working on the programs. We know. I mean, we're pretty sure Eric Davis works on the programs.
Yeah, let's listen.
Yeah, let's talk about a disclosure here.
There's no long, it's like the long-awaited return of Jesus. Well, everybody's had the long-awaited disclosure, and it's like, no, this isn't it.
Well, and
however, officially, the United States government, via the DOD, of course, I'll reverse it. The DOD has issued an official confirmation. So that's what they've done. They've officially confirmed it. Now, they have done disclosure. What they've disclosed is, A, they have had encounters with unusual craft that they cannot identify as human-made or unknown human-made craft. In other words, the objects don't follow the aerodynamic rules of engineering. Okay? They just don't. Okay? And that's driven by physics. Right. And I'm not saying that they're breaking laws of physics, so don't quote me on anything having to do with, well, they're operating on a new physics we haven't invented, or no, they're breaking the laws of physics. It is possible they're operating on a physics we haven't invented or haven't discovered yet. That's possible. We don't know. So anyway, the point is that that these things are operating. They go way outside the envelope of our engineering and physics technologies, and I can guarantee you that no laws of physics are broken whatsoever. It's just that it's either the existing laws that we have, but we haven't extrapolated it further enough, or expanded it enough into realms or areas of phase space where we could discover new solutions to these existing physical laws, which would give us advanced propulsion and power that would produce this type of technology once you have an engineering and a manufacturing technology to create these things. So that's where we're at. And these things don't look like anything that we can manufacture on Earth. So we don't have the manufacturing or industrial technology for it. We don't have an engineering for it. In other words, the blueprints and designs to get something shaped like a fighter-sized piece of candy, mouth bent, and
a fighter-sized piece of candy. That's so funny. All right, should we stop there or should I finish it?
No, let's stop there. Okay. This has been a long enough episode.
It is very long. And I sent you something earlier. We're not have to show it, but about Green Street.
Yeah,
Steve Green Street working with the U.S. Department of State, and he's a big debunker, very annoying, and he's always going after Grusch and especially Grusch and trying to debunk him.
He reminds me of oh God, who is the guy? He went after I can't remember shit.
Who, Green Street?
No, I'm saying Green Street reminds me of is it Philip Glass?
Oh,
he was like the one. He went after the Fire in the Sky guy, and he would try and debunk everything. I think it was Philip Glass.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, Philip Glass.
That guy sucked balls.
Well, anyway. Man, we're over 2 hours, and and maybe there's 7 minutes to take out. But wow,
I think there is. Well, I'll find some things to cut.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. Well, we want to thank you all for listening to the Uncovering Anomalies podcast. That is, I Want to Believe Adam.
Woo!
I am Tip Top Topher, and before we go, Adam is going to tell us a little bit about our sponsor and where you can find us.
Yes, our sponsor for today's program is Kineba.com, Qinneba.com. It's a legal hemp marketplace, which with a lot of variety, a lot of choices, all tested and tried by the company, also third-party tested. So definitely give them a try. It supports us, supports the show. And you can find us on UAP the podcast on Twitter and on all podcasting platforms. If you're still listening to us on Stitcher, you need to get off. They are ending the platform at the end of the month. So, there's a lot of stuff. You can go on Spotify, which are great. It's free. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Amazon has now their own, I think it's Audible podcast. So you can listen there. Anywhere you can find us. Follow Topher. We have his account in the show notes. And support us if you can. Also, we have a link at the bottom of each episode. Any support. I think we go as low as 99 cents a month or something. So
$12 a year.
Yes, support us or just give us your feedback, share, like.
We would love your feedback.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to give up your cash, then at least just use your thumbs a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, that's all from my end.
All right, cool. Well, we want to thank you all again for listening. And, I guess we'll see you all next week.
Next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.